Hello my dear students and a warm welcome to all of you to English class. Today we are going to learn a new poem, Children Are Going to School. Children Are Going to School is an English translation of the Hindi poem Bacche School Ja Rahe Hain by Nida Fazli. Now the theme or the central idea behind this poem is that all the elements of nature, that is the sky, the sun, wind, trees, the birds and the smallest of particles show their respect and happiness to the children who are going to school. We all know that there are a lot of children around the world for whom going to school is a privilege. Many of them go through all sorts of hardship to be able to get education. So, if they get education, then it is the moment of pride and respect to these children. So, let us enjoy this poem. So, I request you to sit back and listen carefully. Children are going to school. Morning light spreads over the earth. Once again, the sky bows his head in respect, for children are going to school. Now, we all are aware that most of the schools begin early in the morning. And therefore, even the children have to wake up early in the morning. Here, the line morning light spreads over the earth indicates that it is sunrise. So, here the poet wants to say that since the children are getting up early in the morning, the sky bows his head in respect for all these children who are going to school. Here, the poet wants to say that the sky is showing love and affection by bowing and welcoming all the children who have woken up early in the morning and are now on their way to school. A new day means a new beginning and new opportunities to the children who are going to school. So here in this stanza, the poet has personified the sky by giving it human qualities of bowing its head in respect. Now, let's continue with the next stanza. The sun, after his morning deep in the river, dressed up in his golden muslin turban, waits and smiles on one side of the road, for children are going to school. Now, we all know that during the sunset, it feels as if the sun has taken a dip in the river. And during early sunrise, it feels as if the sun has taken morning bath and it is coming outside. So here the line sun after his morning dip in the river says that, or the poet wants to tell us that the sun has just taken a dip in the river and now it is coming out. Dressed up in his golden muslin turban. Golden indicates the orange hue of the sun, that is orange color of the sun. Muslin is actually a soft cotton cloth and a turban is a cloth which is tied around its head. So the poet wants to say that the sun has taken a morning dip in the river. As it is sunrise, it feels as if he has taken the dip in the river, and when he is coming out, his color is golden and it feels as if sun has worn a golden muslin turban around its head. Waits and smiles on one side of the road. Okay, so here the poet wants to say that now the sun has taken a dip, dressed up in his golden muslin turban and is waiting at the side of the road with a smile ready to welcome the children going to school. So in this stanza, the poet has personified by giving it human quality of waking up, taking a dip, dressing up, smiling and waiting at the side of the road. Okay, students, have you understood this stanza? So we'll continue with the next stanza now. Through the green-topped branches, breezes sing their songs of blessings. Fragrant flowers awaken the sleepy roads with their melodies. Now, when the wind blows, it makes a whistling sound. The poet now says, as the wind passes through the trees covered with leaves in the form of a breeze, it feels as if it is singing songs of blessings. In other words, the wind is blessing the children going to school. Now you all know that when it is early morning, the flowers are blooming. So here the poet wants to say that the flowers blooming in the morning are awakening the sleepy roads. Now, why the poet has called the roads sleepy? Perhaps because nobody was walking on the roads at the night. The roads were silent as if they had gone off to sleep. And so the flowers are giving sweet melodies, that is sweet music. As they bloom out, they give out fragrance in the morning, as if they are awakening the sleepy roads and telling them to get ready as the children are going to walk on the path. So here the word fragrant means having a pleasant smell, and melodies means tunes or songs. At the corner of the lane, the people in his lush, deep foliage waves his hand, for children are going to school. Now, here the poet wants to say that the peepal tree, which is growing at the corner of the lane or of the road, is waving its branches that are full of green leaves. Here, by waving his hand, the peepal tree is greeting the children who are going to school. So here, the word foliage means greenery. Okay, foliage means greenery or leaves and branches of a plant. Foliage means greenery or leaves and branches of a plant. Lush means covered with healthy grass and plants. In this stanza, the poet has personified the breeze as singing songs, flower as giving out the sweet melodies, and peepal tree as waving his hands. Angels of light have set out. Every road is a gleam. At this hour, every particle of the earth throbs like a mother's heart. The poet has called all the elements and particles of nature as angels of light. That is, here the sky, the sun and the wind, the flowers, the road and the trees. All these angels of light are actually messengers of God. The poet wants to say that these angels of light have set out and illuminated the road for the children going to school. It is said that knowledge is light, and so here these elements and particles of nature who as angels of light are spreading this light in the form of knowledge. Further, the poet states, at this hour, every particle of the earth throbs like a mother's heart. Here, the poet wants to say, at this hour means the hour when the children are going to school. Every particle of the earth is throbbing like a mother's heart. You know that your mother's heart throbs or beats for her children. She is always anxious for her children. So here the poet is comparing a mother's heart with the earth. So here the poet says that every particle of the earth is throbbing like a mother's heart just because the children are going to school. In this stanza, the word a gleam means shining bright. Okay, a gleam means shining bright. Particle means a very small piece of something. Particle means a very small piece of something. Throbs means beats with a strong and regular rhythm. That means heart beating is also called as throbbing of heart. So let's continue next part of the poem. Time, sitting on an old roof, flies pigeon in the sky. For children are going to school. Now, here the poet wants to say that time is always there for us. It never dies. It is immortal. It lives forever. Like a grand old man, time sits on the roof. We have heard a proverb that is, time is on our side, which means the present time is the right time for all of us, and we should not let it go in vain. So in this poem, the poet says the time is on children's side and it is the right time for them to gain knowledge and should not let it pass. So, time sitting on an old roof flies pigeon in the sky. For children are going to school. Now, pigeons are the symbol of peace. So, here the poet wants to say that the time is setting all the pigeons in the sky, which means that the time wants the children to learn peacefully, gain knowledge peacefully. It does not want war. So here the poet wants to try to tell us that the time which is immortal is setting the pigeons, that means peace, to spread the peace in the world. For the children are going to school. Now, in this stanza, the poet has personified every particle of the earth as throbbing like mother's heart and time as sitting on an old roof. I hope so you have understood this whole poem. Let us go to the next slide, which gives us the meanings. So meanings are muslin, a kind of soft cotton fabric. Foliage means greenery, leafy cover. A gleam means shining bright. Fragrant is having a pleasant smell. Throbs means beats with a strong regular rhythm. Melodies means tunes, songs. Deep, here it means strong and dark. Particle, a very small piece of something. Lush means covered with healthy grass and plants. So, you have learned this poem. Now, what you have to do, children, is that you have to write the meanings, the poems, the full poem in your classwork notebook and try to answer the question on your own in your rough book. I will give you the answer after some time. Till then, student, till we meet again for the next lesson. Bye and thank you.